It is Sunday fun day. Time to make some plans, getting ready for war. Hello Adrian and welcome back to my channel. It is 7:30 p.m. and my time zone is UTC plus 8. Hope you are all doing well on this beautiful Sunday evening. It's the last day of the weekend. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Everybody had lots of cool stuff to be did a lot of cool stuff. I hope. Well, nothing that much happened during the weekend. Well, usually it doesn't. There's not that much that happens during the weekend, but well, sometimes sometimes it does, but I do believe that yeah, today is a very important day because tomorrow is most likely going to be a crucial start of the week. So I wanted to go over things and go over all the plans and all the ideas that I have circulating right now in my mind. Okay. So, anyways, wanted to say hi first to the hardcore crew who are basically with me every day. Hi Darren, hi Nikolai, hi Theodore, hi Prashant. Yeah, Theodore. Like sometimes that magical TA works pretty well, right? Yeah, just to follow up on yesterday, I told you guys put that order here on this green box here. Just put it out there, and yeah, just I think 5 minutes, like you said, 5 minutes after I finished my stream, my long order also hit. And then I was like, damn, now what? Now I have to hold it or I will have to close it. I decided to close it, by the way. So I just it went back up around this R1 here, as you can see here. It went back to up towards this R1 at 11,980, something like that. So from 11,700 to 11,980, that was like $280 spread. I was like, okay, I'll just take it. I don't want to be in a position anyways. And also what I was thinking was most likely going to be happening is most likely the same thing is going to be happening today, because it's still weekend, it's still Sunday, and we're just preparing ourselves basically for Monday, right? So making monies, I like it, I love it, Theodore, I love it. So yeah, in terms of like analysis, pretty much in the short term, pretty much everything is the same as yesterday, right? So we are still in this rising channel basically, right? And like I said, it can easily touch one more time back here. The reason why is because yesterday basically we got held up from the EMA 21, which is the yellow line, and now we are basically held up by the EMA 55, which is the green line. So for all disclosure, I do think that later tonight most likely we'll be touching this green box once again. Also, keep yourself in mind that there's always a scam wick towards the downside. Like I said, if we do break this channel towards the downside, most likely we'll be heading towards down somewhere around 11.4, 11 something like that, right? So keep that in mind as well, that we can still move a little bit down towards the downside as well. Where would that be? Well, here basically the EMA 21 on the daily, right, which is currently at 11,327. So it's possible that we just can make that move towards the downside before liquidate some over leveraged longs, like I said, during the weekend, because this is the time that the whales can be doing that, right? So when people are talking about manipulation and price manipulation and what the whales are doing, blah blah blah, they can only do it when there is very low volume. And so that's the reason why during the weekend I really don't like to be trading, because the whales can just, some whale can just jump in and just really literally move the price for like $100 or $200 towards the downside, then buy it back up very cheaply, because so many people got liquidated and profit that way. So when you're talking about manipulation, that's the kind of manipulation that is very possible. And also only during when the volume is very low, right? When the volume is super high, they no whale is big enough or has enough Bitcoin, except for a couple of people, of course. But most of them are not not trader active. So $100 or $200 is very, very possible, but higher than that is very, very difficult, and definitely during the week. So during the week we have a lot of high trading volume, so it's a lot harder for whales to be manipulating. But during the weekend, it's definitely possible. We can clearly see that you can clearly see right now here the trading volume for today is only at it's this very, very small amount, right? So that's the reason why I'm saying, like, yeah, during the weekend, either put some scam wicks out there and just like whatever, if you can take profits, take profits. If it's a great entrance, keep it, right? But other than that, don't take it too much as so seriously, right? So let's move on to basically what is very, very crucial right now, right? So on the daily basis, take a look at this. We close the candle above the 10 simple moving average. Everything is looking really, really good towards the upside, right? So in terms of like the medium term or the macro term, nothing changed, right? So what it's looking like is that we are very closely trying to be basically moving back above this near this green box here, and then trying to break it towards the upside, most likely next week, right? So if we are looking at the volume, we can clearly see that if we are making a diagonal like this, we can clearly see that over the next couple of days, doesn't have to be tomorrow, right? But over the next couple of days, we are filling basically 70 to 75% of this triangle. And as you know, whenever that happens, a spike in volume comes in. And since that we are grinding more towards the upside, obviously, the chances that we are breaking towards the upside is higher than the chances that we are breaking towards the downside. But always keep in mind that crazier things have happened before, so don't forget about that as well. So what I wanted to show you guys is the following. We can clearly see that right now on the 4 hour, the HVP is is basically super, super low right now, as you can see here. So I do expect, basically tomorrow or maybe the day after, or Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Some big move is going to be happening. And as you can see right here, the 4 hour is almost at the single digits, and it is at single digit right now. It's at 9, but I'm saying like below 5, below really, really small numbers, over most likely going to be happening very soon. And then that move of like $300-400 is going to be happening, and that is basically either going to be breaking, helping us break towards the upside or towards the downside, of course, right? So, but just wanted to go over a couple of triggers. So for what will make me basically go into a long position if I would not be in a long position right now. So in the short term, pretty much the same thing as yesterday. Most likely trying to be getting in a position around this green box here, just above the EMA 55. That is the most likely scenario, right? If this structure holds. Doesn't mean that it has to be holding, or trying to get a scam order towards the downside, somewhere more around this area where we have our supporting trend line, since when was it again? Somewhere around very long already. So what the fuck? Okay, stop. Delete. Okay, our supporting trend line since the 27th of July. So yeah, that's a pretty long time ago already, right? So somewhere around there. Do note that, like I said, it can always wick down back into this green box as well. We don't know how crazy or how much people are going to be surrendering or something like that. But for now, things are still looking fine, as you can see. I'm just waiting now for the next 4 hour or the 12 hour candle close. Are we able to be closing above the EMA 21? Yes or no? That will be basically my next my next critical area for the next 15 minutes or something like that. If we do close above this EMA 21, most likely we'll slowly head back up towards the upside. If we close below that EMA 21, obviously most likely we're going to have a swipe back down towards the EMA 55. Most likely we will have another bounce there, but if we don't hold this green box, like I said, scam wicks towards the downside is very, very possible, and then we should be looking at this box here or this EMA on the daily on the 21. So pretty much what I've said yesterday, but we have a little bit more data right now because yeah, we already have tested that green box here one time yesterday already, right? So let's see what happens over the next 15 minutes or something like that, how we close. Do we keep ourselves inside this channel, or do we break a little bit towards the downside? Is there something to be in panic about? No, I don't think it's something you should be panicking about. Things are still, like I said, things are still looking super, super good rather than negative or anything like that. But anyways, let's move on. So let's say, for example, the price stays into this channel and it never breaks down anymore, and we cannot get into a long position anymore. Then we will have to be playing the breakout, right? So what would be some of the structures that would confirm for me where we would be entering along, right? So first, my first rule would be this one, right? So if tomorrow we close the candle, the daily candle. So if this daily candle, oh sorry, if this daily candle here closes above the previous line here, so which is current, if you can see, at 11,900.5, so it's a very beautiful number as well. So if we close the next daily candle above this 11,900, very, very likely we'll be moving and making a move towards the upside as well. So that would trigger for me an entrance towards a long position towards the upside. That would be the daily candle if we are looking at the daily candle. On the shorter time frames, obviously we swing a little more on during this shorter time frame. So on the shorter time frames, what would be the trigger? Obviously, closing a 4-hour candle close above this green box would make me enter a long. That's speaks for itself. Or a second one would be just to be ticking above this basically previous high point, as we can see here on the 4-hour. So getting a high, just the price just above this 11,000. I'll put a line there as well, and then a notification as well, so that we know it, right? So up. Why is it not making a line? Okay, so above 12,112.5. So basically right now waiting for one of those things to happen. So a 4-hour candle close above this green box, here, so above basically 12,000. 4-hour candle close above 12,000, most likely have to be entering a long position. Price just wicking above 12,112.5. No choice, have to be entering a long position as well. And tomorrow the daily candle close, if it closes above, makes a higher body close than our previous high here at 11,900, that will give me the confirmation as well that we have continuation towards the upside rather than the downside. So those are all the triggers for me to be entering a long position if my long position doesn't get filled during the night, of course, right? So what I'm still waiting for is, of course, like I said, either somewhere around here, just above the EMA 55, or all the way down, either this support trend line, or even wicking all the way down here towards this green box here. Like I said, that would be the measured move of that channel towards the downside, or the EMA 21 on the daily, right? So basically what we basically said about yesterday. So those are the triggers. Now you have my whole plan for all the triggers, what I'm planning to be doing. If one of those triggers happen, then I'll just enter my trade. that's just how it happens. But of course, there's also a trigger towards the downside, right? So the trigger towards the downside is very simple as well. A closure below the EMA 21 on the daily, so below 11,327.5. That will make me immediately close my long position and switch over basically into a short, because most likely that will be the push, at least at minimum, towards the green box, towards the downside, around the 11,000. But I don't believe that that would be the end of it. Most likely it will be going back down towards the 10.5-ish area where the EMA 55 is on the daily, right? So be very, very careful. That is basically, this EMA 21 line is right now basically the lifeline of what the next move is most likely going to be happening. But for now, you know, we can only look at the momentum, and the momentum is obviously more geared towards the upside rather than the downside. Why? Well, we can see that we formed this falling wedge on this RSI, and of course right now it is moving a little bit down, but at one point it should be breaking back up towards the upside, right? Also on the 4-hour chart, we also have drawn this already. As you can see here, the RSI support, broke down, and then got turned into resistance, broke back up, and now, as you can see here, it still has a little bit space to be going towards the downside. It would be going towards around 49, right? 49. So let's take a look. What would 49 be? And I've put it in there already. 49 would be around 11,750. So a move back down towards 11.7, which is where is it? Where is 11.7? Yes, you have guessed it already. 11.7 would be just this EMA 55 level, or this green box once again, right? So the question is, do we move a little bit down, hold this support line and move back up, or do we break up from down here and then move back up from this? Exactly what we discussed about basically yesterday, exactly the same scenario, right? So nothing changed on that area as well. So those are the trigger points, and okay, the reason why we should be macro bullish is the following, right? So we've spoken about that for many times already. Let's take a look at the Stokes right now on the weekly chart. As you can see, this is a very bullish formation, and it's going to be it's going to be ticking into the bullish territory. So out of the purple line into the bullish territory, and whenever that happens, good things just happen to the Bitcoin price, right? So it's just very, very bullish, and we will have continuation towards the upside if, of course, the price is staying above 10,800. So basically from now until tomorrow, until the opening, until the closure of the weekly close, basically, if price doesn't crash below 11,000, we will have that RSI and that Stokes going into a bullish formation, or going and staying into the bullish territory. So yeah, that's basically it. If so, we have like well, the bears have like how many hours is that? 10 hours. Have 10 hours to be basically pushing the price down towards below 11,000. Is it impossible? Of course, it's not impossible. We have seen crazier things with Bitcoin in an hour, and even in 5 minutes or in 15 minutes before. But basically, that's the general rule, and that's the reason why I'm pretty bullish right now, or more. The probability is just higher towards the upside, because, well, the chances that we are going to get pushed below 11,000 is more towards the lower probability than the higher probability, obviously, right? So, and other than that, well, we've been through that already before. We had our high here, we got rejected here, we got rejected here, we got basically rejected here and here also. But here, this is the difference. We finally have broken out from that 2-year major resistance trend line towards the downside, right? So that's basically what is going on right now. It is a change of behavior. It is a positive trend towards the upside on the macro perspective, right? This is on the weekly chart. So, and other than that, of course, on the monthly chart, we have talked about that already before. This is the first time in a very long time that we have a higher high on the monthly chart as well. As you can see here, we started our downtrend from this point here. All monthly candles are lower until this monthly candle basically in July. So it is definitely something different, a different kind of behavior that we are seeing right now. So overall, obviously, I'm more tending more to be on the bullish side rather than the downside. But yeah, the key line is or the key areas are still exactly the same. We have to be holding this EMA 21 on the daily and not close below it, right? So if we start closing below the EMA 21, I would not be as bullish anymore. Let's put it like that, right? So we've been over all the things, all the areas, what the triggers are, and so on and so on. What I wanted to show you guys is more on a macro level, why we are targeting the next levels towards the upside. Let's put it like that. So let's go back into our daily. So let's move into our next levels, right? So I'm putting my R3 here, which is around 13,000. The reason why is because, of course, that's our previous high here, this point here, as you can see here. That's our previous high here, but obviously most likely it's not going to be immediately going into that in that point. Most likely it's going to be having a pit stop here. Usually what happens is it always touches the body of the previous high, right? So if you're putting the body here, poof, you can clearly see the price is 12,563.5. So that's most likely where we'll make a small pit stop before we make a continuation towards the upside. So since that we have that level there, I will be putting that green box there as well. So we can take notice of that, right? So somewhere around 12,563, and that's basically where it is, right? So I hope that makes sense as well. So what I'm expecting is during the next day, basically, we hover somewhere around this area here towards the 12,000. And like I said, this is the first touch, this is the second touch. Most likely this is the third touch, and HVP is going to be super low. Bitcoin dominance is going to be super low as well. We can talk about that a little bit as well. As you can see here, this is looking very, very bullish to be curling up, pushing up towards the upside very, very, very soon. Like I said, we have bullish divergence from this point, from this low to this low, and if we compare it with the RSI, we will have a higher RSI as well, right? I'll show you. 1 second. Let me remove it so you can see it a little bit better. So we have a lower low here from basically from this point to this point. Then you can see it on the RSI. 1 second. I think it's from this point to, wait, where is my price point? This point, okay. Fuck. La la la. 29. Okay. Put the trend line here. This point. Yeah. So here. Okay. So basically, this line here that we are forming here, and then basically, oh sorry, this higher low that we are basically forming here, right? So bullish divergence that is being formed right now, right? So yeah, most likely we'll have a push on the Bitcoin dominance as well. So what does that mean? Bitcoin is very likely going to make a move. We don't really know towards the downside or the upside, because, well, Bitcoin dominance increases whenever the price goes down very quickly or up very quickly, right? So, but this looks like a push very, very soon towards the upside over the next couple of days with that bullish divergence forming. Everything is getting ready for Bitcoin to be moving very, very quickly. So like I said, HVP is showing already very low numbers on the 4 hour here, as you can see, very low. Over the next couple of days, we have Bitcoin dominance that is moving towards the upside. Over the next couple of days, we have our pattern that is forming ascending triangle, basically, right? Ascending triangle. We have all the we are above all the major moving averages. We are seeing RSI Stokes forming very positive movements on all time levels, on all time frames. Sorry, on the weekly, on the monthly, even on the 12-hour, as you can see here. 12 hours curling towards the upside. The daily is still snaking a little bit towards the downside, but there's a possibility that it's going to be reversing here on the support line as well. So all of those things, all of those points is making me thinking like, yeah, most likely we are going to be breaking towards the upside, and it's going to be happening rather sooner than later, to be honest. So all eyes basically on that, right? So I'm just trying to create more points, green boxes, basically, to preparing myself for that, right? So this is our $12,500, around $12,500 box. This is our 13,000 box. The reason why the 13,000 box there is basically our Fibonacci retracement, by the way. So if we do a Fibonacci not this one, from this top here, this major top here to the downside, we can see here the 1.618 fib is around the 13,000. That's the reason why that green box is there, around the 13,000. And then of course the 14,000 is the top box there. Well, that the reason why is, of course, that is our previous high, where we have been struggling to break since 26th of June 2019. So that's a year ago, right? So I think those areas, or those points make sense. And what I'm expecting is, like I said, once we finally break out of this zone, move towards the 12.5 ish, get rejected there, and continuation there towards the 13,000, and then next on most likely sideways consolidation once again, and then move on for our last leg towards the 14,000. The question is, do we have the chance to be breaking up above the 14,000? Yes, we actually do have the possibility that we're going to be breaking up above the 14,000, and that would mean once we start closing above that green box, we should be going back even further back in the past, and we can clearly see that then our next point of interest is our previous high here. This point here, basically this green box here, this green box here, that would be around the 16,000 area. So yeah, why is that? Okay, that's because the magnet is there. Yeah, so around this wick here where we had the drop down here, so around 16,000, and of course the next one is of course the all-time high, the 20,000 area. So I don't want to go too fast forward, but if you want to know, those are the next macro triggers that we can reach. So but for me right now, I'm just aiming from one box to one box. The key area on the weekly is still the same, the 14,000, and we can see that here on the pivot points as well, right? So the R2 here, 14,682.5. That's basically once we break and close above this R1, that's basically the weekly pivot towards the upside, right? So I still think that that's the area that we have to be looking forward to. So we have our candle close, and as you can see, we did close below the EMA 21. So pretty confident to be saying that although the RSI is actually making a little bounce here, but let's see. But I'm more leaning towards the downside now. So most likely back at least towards this green box here, and maybe even lower, like I said, towards this S3 here, or all the way down here towards this this green box towards the downside. So those are the higher probabilities for me. Let's take a look on the expected move charts. If that is, if I'm saying, if expected move charts are expecting a little bit the same as me. So the first standard deviation toward the upside is 11,900, which is again the top side, and 11,650 is the first standard deviation towards the downside, right? So yeah, that's basically this area. 11,650 is the EMA 55, and 11,900 is back towards the top here. Oh no, not that high. Here our previous candle here around in the middle. So yeah, the ranges are pretty much very similar as yesterday, basically, right? So nothing that new. The most important thing is for me at least is as you can see here, the first standard deviation is 11.6, the second standard deviation is 11.5, and the third standard deviation is 11.4. And like I said, I told you guys before, even if we all go all the way down to 11.4, by the way, 11.4 would be this this green box here, then it would still not break our structure. And that is basically what is the most important for me in the macro level, right? So even if we move to the third standard deviation towards the downside, which, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you know, it's very rarely that sort of movements happens, and definitely during the weekend, but never say never. But that means that we would still be holding this structure here. So for me, that is very, very positive, because with that weekly close, even if we go all the way down there, with that weekly close, we would still have a positive trend on the weekly Stokes going into the bullish territorium, and on the RSI going towards the right hand side as well, right? So overall, yeah, can't be bearish, but but always, like I said, the key level is still just basically the EMA 21 on the daily. If we close below the EMA 21, then so sorry for the bulls, but the good times will be over, and we'll be having we will have to click on some short buttons on that. But for now, like I said, nothing is really bad. I don't see anything super badly at all. And oh yeah, the slope is, as you can see, the expected moves is more sideways than anything, so it's 50-50 towards the upside or the downside. So yeah, let's see the short term. Here the 4-hour Stokes are still curling towards the downside, so the momentum is definitely pushing more towards the downside than the upside, as you can see. Is there something else that we can see? I can remove this one now. 11.8 for the crossed back up. Yeah, doesn't give us that much information or anything like that. So yeah, nothing that special. So scam at 11,650. Not really a scam. I think it's quite high probability right now that we will be hitting this zone. Quite high probability, to be honest, right now, that we are hitting, that we are at least going to be testing this this green box once again, because like I said, we closed below. Oh, it's going down, as you can see, because we closed below the EMA 21. So as you can see, it's going down there. It's most likely going to be touching. Our entry point at 11,675. Pretty confident that we'll touch that there. Does it hold? Yes or no? That'll be the question. If it doesn't hold, like I said, then we have this area here. In the very short term, you can clearly see it here around 11,570, something like that, 11,550. Somewhere around there. And if that doesn't hold, then we have the very strong support here at this green box here at 11,350. So one of those areas, but most likely the higher probability is probably somewhere in the middle. I would say 11,550 is probable. Let's put it like that. But yeah, I don't really care about about that right now, because I'm just more concerned. I mean, I'm more thinking about the long term, a midterm over the next week, that I want to be in a position for the move that is upcoming, more that and I'm seeing a lot of positive movement. So I do believe that there's a high chance that we will be moving towards the upside. So trying to get into a good position somewhere around here. Basically, I'll just be laddering in my positions from here until all the way until here, most likely. So not really that worried or anything like that on that area. So things looks really good. What is there something else that I wanted to say? But for the people who really want to be risk free, you don't have to be entering any positions right now. Like I said, if you want to be really risk free, then and then just wait for one of the triggers that I've explained at the beginning of the video, right? A daily close above this red line, above 11.9, a 4-hour candle close above the green box, or a touch above, or the price just spiking above 12,112.5. One of those three triggers, that will do it as well, and you have zero risk. I'm not saying zero risk. You have it's way safer, let's put it like that, than trying to put yourself into some position right now. But for me, I kind of feel confident that we have a move towards the upside rather than the downside. And and if it doesn't happen, like I said, if we break the EMA 21, I'll just switch it over into a short, and that should cover my losses anyways, in case that we get stopped out, or we get a price reversal towards the downside. So what else do I wanted to say? Well, oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about ETH. I told you guys that most likely we'll have a bounce at the EMA 21. But that's not where I was looking to get an entry. My entry is still this box here, the green box, or near the EMA 55, and that's where I'm patiently waiting for Ether to come back in. And like I explained before already, this was our resistance, this was our rejection resistance, this was where we basically broke out, and what usually happens is we float back down towards, and this will turn into support, because I do believe that Ethereum has more gains or more ways towards the upside as well. So I'm patiently waiting for that position there as well, which is something that I have been talking about for a long time also already before. So just patiently waiting for my Ether to be hit gently just above the EMA 55 there, around what is it, that green box here, around $409, something around there. Is where I am very interested in going back into Ether once again. So is there anything else? Oh, it's starting to push towards the downside. Anything else? Oh yeah, I wanted to update about Link. Of course, Link. So yesterday we hit the 20 point, as you can see, $20.296, and what I wanted to see was, of course, do we have bearish divergence on the daily, right? So that was the main question, because like I said, when we are parabolic, it doesn't matter. We just basically, it can keep on going up towards the upside. At one point it's going to crash and burn, but the scenario for that is to have bearish divergence on the daily. That will give us basically the signal. And do we have bearish divergence on the daily? No, we don't have a bearish divergence on the daily. So there's nothing to be said. Like I said, as long as we don't have bearish divergence on the daily, this looks like a continuation of the trend towards the upside. So what I think is a small pullback, either towards the 10 simple moving average, maybe towards the 21 EMA, but this looks very strong. I think it's going to be just the 10 simple moving average, to be honest. So back to maybe 18.5 or 17.6, somewhere around there, and I do believe that we will have continuation towards the top once again. And the next pit stop, it will be 20.69. So yeah, there you have it. I do believe that there's another leg up for Link. So like I said, but am I interested in buying Link at those kind of prices? No. I mean, that's just too crazy for me. Like I said, when we are starting to go around the $20, 19 and a half to $20.5. Like I said yesterday, those are the prices that I'm just like, okay, well, this is maybe it will go to 22, maybe it'll go to even 23 or something like that. It's going to make a blow off top, and it's going to be crash and burn pretty soon, because yeah, this is pretty clear that this is a parabolic move towards the upside, right? So at one point it's going to make that we're just very near that top, right? We're just very near there. I'm not, but we can't completely say how high, but it can still, it's at 90.93 right now on the weekly, and we still don't have bearish divergence on the daily, right? So just saying, just saying, it's really crazy. But yeah, most likely link, we still have one more leg towards the upside. I would be saying around $20.50, like I said, $20.69 if we are following the pivot points, somewhere around there, $20.6 or something like that. Yeah, like I said, most likely we still have a leg, one more leg towards the upside. So there you have it. But that could be the last one. So like I said, for me, it's just too dangerous. I mean, everybody has his own risk management. Everybody can do with their money what they want to be doing. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but I'm just saying, for me personally, this is a little bit too hot. It's getting a little bit too hot for me to be entering buying positions for Link. I'll just wait it out, and most likely it's going to be some crash and burn pretty soon. I would think so. Anyways, let's take a look on XRP. XRP is such a shit coin. I don't know why people are so interested in XRP. It's just so amazing. But I understand, because a lot of people are holding bags of XRP, right? So let's take a look on the daily if we can see something here. It still looks horrible, to be honest. even just zooming out, it still looks so horrible, right? Yeah, I mean, most likely. So I would be waiting, like I said, right? The weekly candle close is very important. Closing above the previous weekly candle high here would already be a good start, but technically you want it to be closing above this one, I guess, right? This one, and it's not even there yet on the weekly. So I would be waiting until we have a weekly candle close above this one, which is at what is it, 0.298. So if we manage to close the weekly above that, then most likely a continuation. But to be honest, it will most likely have a move towards the upside. But yeah, because Bitcoin is going to be making, I think Bitcoin is going to be making a move towards the upside, right? So I think XRP is going to be moving along with it towards the upside as well. But the upside is, I don't think the upside is going to be that amazing or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm not interested in XRP. I wouldn't expect. I also wouldn't expect like super crazy numbers on XRP, to be honest. Like, where would be the next target? Let's take a look on the weekly. So if we do manage to break above this 29, next targets would be obviously this one, right? 33, and then next big one would be at 40 cents. So yeah, that's okay, I guess. That's okay, I guess. But yeah, I don't put my money into a chart that looks like this. I don't. It just looks so bad. It just looks really bad. So, but yeah, it will most likely be moving towards the upside. Yes, a little bit. If Bitcoin moves towards the upside, it's going to be moving towards the upside as well. But for people who think that this is going to be like the next chain link, I doubt it. I very highly doubt it. So yeah, so let's take a look on LTC. LTC is also not a very good chart, by the way. I don't like it as well. I've looked at it before. I don't like it as well. It's going to be moving towards the upside pretty clearly as well, similar to Bitcoin, but it just doesn't look good at all. So what we want to be seeing is a weekly close above this area here, which is at 61.66, right? And it's nowhere near it. It's even nowhere near that weekly close to making a higher high. So not a good chart overall as well for Litecoin. I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, well, most likely, I would if Bitcoin moves up, I will definitely target back to 65, something like that. So sure, back to 65. But other than that, yeah, not a fan of it as well. And just pure TA perspective, not a fan of it as well. Do I think BTC dominance? Well, who knows? That's what the market is going to be deciding, right? But for now, Bitcoin is still the number one, and yeah, it's the number one until it's no longer the number one. The Dixie is not going to change, right, Laxman? The market is closed. Traditional markets are closed, Mr. Laxman. We can only check it tomorrow when the traditional markets open. So the Dixie is still the same as yesterday. No need to be worried. It got rejected from the pivot line. It's the distance between the EMA 21 and the EMA 55 is diverging towards the larger side. So it's going to be stronger pushing towards the downside. EOS made a nice move already towards the upside, but that's more because of the, I think there was like some update that they did. So we had already that big pump towards the upside, right? As you can see here. I think that's it. Let's take a look. It doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad on the daily, to be honest. It doesn't look that bad. Let's take a look on the weekly though. Once again, I always want to be seeing if we close a week a higher. Oh yeah, so this one has a potential to be putting in a higher close, right? So just looking at this point here, it's currently forming. It's currently above it. So if we manage to close above the weekly close by tomorrow, basically above 3.5, it is a change of behavior. So there is more potential to be having momentum towards the upside. So it's definitely not as bad as other shit coins. So definitely better than other shit coins. But where would I think here? Yeah. So we basically touched here, right, which is the high, and this is basically, as you can see, our previous high. So if you manage to break up towards the upper when Bitcoin moves up, and everybody, I would be looking basically at here at $4.36, right? So here, $4.36. So that would be quite a substantial push towards the upside. Looks like it's going to have a very nice weekly close. And if Bitcoin moves up, I do believe that this is going to have continuation towards the upside as well. So the next big target would be at $4.36 for EOS. Definitely doesn't look that bad. I thought it would be looking worse, but it doesn't look that bad. Anyways, yep. I think we got our plan for today, right? We got our plan. Oh, did it touch into the green box? No, it didn't touch into the green box. Not yet. We still don't have our positions filled. So it's going to be a little bit more patience during the night time. But I do believe that, like I said, just a little bit of patience, at least touch here into the green box once again. Maybe if we don't hold it, break towards the downside around 11.5-ish. If not, 11.3-ish, 11.350 or 11.4, something like that, around there as a scam wick. It's very possible as well, but that'll be it, I think. other than that, things are looking really good, except if tomorrow we wake up and we see that we have a daily close below the EMA 21, then we have to change our plan. So just be very aware, that's what trading is all about. You have to be preparing yourself for the scenarios and the trigger points. But for now, things are looking good. No issues at all. I want to check one more time the RSI. Oh, RSI is currently below it, as you can see, below our. So yeah, looks like a swipe towards the downside rather than the upside. So would not be in too of a rush to be setting your entry positions for Bitcoin. Most likely we will have some more continuation towards the downside rather than the upside, in the short term at least. But yeah, I guess that's it for today. Hope you are doing well, and see you guys tomorrow, same time, 7:30 p.m. UTC+8. Please like, share, comment, and do whatever you want with this channel.